did this idea start?
It started 25 years ago when I had 3 little kids and I needed extra money. And I had my degree in teaching, didn't want to go back and teach full time, and so I thought the 2 things that I love were teaching and cooking, and I had my degree in elementary education, and the rest is kind of history.
I've been teaching life skills for over 13 years. I started off teaching the high school vocational level where we did laundry, computer skills, and even greenhouse work. The past 9 years I've been at Barbara Jordan Elementary teaching life skills unit.
Well, this is my first year teaching life skills, bilingual life skills. I love it. I love working with this population. I think that they are hardworking, as in they have to do a lot more, try a lot harder than the general ed students because of their disabilities. And it's really rewarding, to say the least.
When I first started, it primarily was friends of my children because they were of the age that I was teaching. And additionally to that, at that time I was also teaching preschool. So I sort of had a captive audience, if you know what I mean. People would hear about it, and I began doing that. And as it progressed, we found that cooking through a lot of venues was something that children who were unable to do other things could absolutely do. So it began as that, and as we progressed, we began to see what other areas we could make an outreach.
I mean, being a life skills unit, it's very important that students get their hands-on experience, because I think that's the best way to learn, is actually applying the theories. I have cooked with them before, and some of them weren't as into cooking, but most of them were, and they really react well to cooking. It's like something they like naturally.
Okay, well, community-based instruction is part of the life skills curriculum, where it gets our students used to being out in the community. A lot of our parents don't want to take our kids out because they've got unwanted behaviors that maybe the general public aren't used to. So community-based instruction is where our kids visit the same area at least for 6 weeks in a row, so the community can get used to us and for our students to get used to being outside in the community.
Really very little advertising. Facebook has been our best friend because that's what moms watch very carefully. When they come in here, they'll do a snapshot. They'll say, we had a great party, my child had a super cooking experience. They post it on Facebook, and that's really our best way of communicating.
Well, I was searching online trying to find an activity for my kids, and I did a search to find out what maybe some stay-at-home mothers did to keep their kids active in the day. And I came across Foodie Kids, which offered after-school care classes as well as day classes. And I called them up and I asked them how they felt about having a class of special needs kids. They said they have never done that before, but they were willing to accept our class. So we signed up for a 6 weeks class.
Well, yes and no. Actually, we have worked with many students through the years. Deaf students, blind students, students that have severe autism. So we've done that with a one-on-one sort of basis integrated into our regular classroom. And we also work with the Down Syndrome Association of Central Texas, and we do 2 classes for them per month. So I have done this thing, I just have not done any specific thing like the Barbara Jordan School offered us to do.
But my expectation was that my students, some of them, the ones that had shown me that didn't really like cooking, weren't gonna like cooking when we went out into the community, but they surprised me. I think all of my students really reacted very well. I think it might have been like the environment of the place that made it welcoming, and you wanted to cook. I don't know.
We all have limitations. You know, you think about it, we teach the same recipes to children that are 2 and 3 that we do to kids that are 12 and 13. What they can accomplish and what they feel successful doing is obviously different at different age levels and skill levels and competency levels. But that doesn't mean they're not successful at what they're doing no matter what they achieve.
Like, for example, now that we did cooking, I mean, sometimes we learn about steps and recipes, and actually going out there and doing something like cooking that's a life skill, and putting that theory into practice. I think it's very important for them.
Very simply put, children typically, when we do a class, unlike what we did with your kiddos, they all come at once. But when we have a class, not everybody arrives at the same time, and we want to make certain that the children all start the cooking activity exactly at the same time. So it's a very good opening activity. As a teacher, you learn you need to have an opening activity and a closing activity to make a successful lesson. In addition to that, it's just creative, and we try to key in the coloring page to something that we're cooking that day.
So it's just kind of linking and prepare them for the new, for the class that they will receive.
Yes, you're exactly right. It's a good way of kind of settling in, getting a feel for things. While they're coloring, we can tell them about the recipes we're going to make, explain the order in which it's going to be done, so everybody knows what's happening and what's coming up.
It was great for the kids. They were able to put, get hands-on experience on cooking, on a life skill like cooking. You know, they're going to need that in their future, of course. And it was nice to see their faces when they saw that they can take these steps and these ingredients and make it into something that they had made. So then you would ask them, so who made this? And they would be like, I did, you know?
Oh, it was amazing. It was hands-on. The kids loved wearing the aprons. They loved chopping. They loved the smell of the food cooking. They loved eating their creation. It was amazing. They got to go home with the recipes. At the end, they got to color pictures relating to whatever we made that day. So they took that experience for math, reading, science, social studies. It was just, it covered every subject that we needed covered, including social skills.
Well, I think first of all, we could not have been as successful doing it if we hadn't had the help from the staff at the Barbara Jordan School. They are amazing, and it would have taken us a lot more staff members because the kids simply need more one-on-one. That being said, it was a huge group. So if we'd had a group of 5 or 6, we could have easily done it, but we were so happy that we had the interest and the number of kids that we did to do it with you all, because together I think we had a really, really successful program, and they seemed to be happy. Some came in very unsure, even the first 2 or 3 times, but that's really normal. And after they got it, I think they really looked forward to it.
Does they enjoy when they eat their own food?
Yes, they did. There's not one time where they were like, I don't like it. It might also have been because they put work into it. You never know.
People always say, oh, it's great for math, science, and it is. And for everything, English, geographics, everything you can think of, it encompasses. But the truth is, it's something that a child can do. It's very self-fulfilling, it's non-competitive, it's very creative. And I think all of those being said, it's also a life skill. So that's about the size of it. Cooking, I think, is one of the best things we can teach our kids for many reasons.
It's okay.
All right, I'm done.